Sundey here, and in this training, we're going to go over how to create a destination interest form, which is a great way to promote your signature destinations. You can get people to express interest in your trip and then start them into automations, such as email automations, invite them to your groups, send them specific newsletters, and start to segment those people that have expressed interest in a particular trip. The first thing that you're going to want to do is go over to your TravelPro Suite application, and then you're going to go to Sites, and then from Sites, you're going to select Forms, and you're going to create a builder. And we're going to create a new form, add a form. And you can create the form inside of one of the existing folders that we have here, or you can just create it wherever you'd like. I'd like, since it's related to a destination, we're going to put it in presentations, and we're going to add a new form. And then you're going to get this option here to start from scratch or choose a template. My recommendation is to start with using a template because we have an array of templates already available for you so that you can decide on the design of your template. So we've got most popular or most recent. You can take a look at any of these templates and pick one that looks like what you want. I happen to like the medical spa one, and I also like the hair extension one. Yoga registration sort of appeals to me. We have this generic travel quote template. This one's not as sexy as the other one, so I'm actually going to select the hair extension option. You can view it before you select it so you can see. And what I like about it is the color scheme and just the simplicity of it. But I also like the ones that have a background already built in. So I'm actually going to select this medical spa one just so you can see the difference. This one already has the background, and you can add a background if you want. You don't have to select one that does, but the colors are already here and it's just going to be easier for me to select. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. And then what it's going to do, it's going to add this template to your folder. And once it's done adding the template to your folder, you'll be able to edit it. And so now it brings you to the edit page. And you're going to want to start from the top and just change the name. And so we're going to call this destination trip. Let's call this Bali. And here you'll have the opportunity to change the background if you want, and then change the content on the form. This has a lot of extra stuff that I don't necessarily need. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is actually click on the style options here, and then we're going to, let's go in, we're going to change this image here. And this image is right here on the bottom. We're going to actually delete this and we're going to add a new header image. And so I'm going to go to Bali location and add some images, an image from Bali. So we've got some images that are already here. So I'm just going to select that image, and then it's going to load that image. Now, this image is kind of big. I would probably design for a form an image that wasn't so wide. This is 1080 by 1080. I would probably design an image that's going to be like 1080 by let's say 300, so it doesn't take up all of this real estate. I only really want it to take up about this much real estate of the form, but this is just to give you an idea. You can also change the background of the image. So let's say I'm okay with this image, you can leave it, or you can upload a different image and use that image. We're going to keep this image just for the sake of this. Then here, I'm going to just delete this title and here, and then you need to decide when you're doing your interest form what information you want to collect. It's not likely that I need all of this other information, so I'm just going to delete these fields. I don't need all of these fields here for this. And so oftentimes to save myself from having to delete things, I will just start from scratch. But I wanted to let you guys know that it's very easy to use a template here. So I'm going to delete all this extraneous stuff that I don't need. So I just want to collect their name, email, and phone. And I do want to have this disclaimer here in the submit button. I'm going to change also this background here and go to options. It's actually in styles. You can see the background. I'm going to change that to our, let's see, I'm just going to change it. I don't have my hex code for, let's say, this is my hex code. I would have my hex code for this. And then the interior form, the field style here, I'm going to change that to gray. And then I'm going to change the font color to, so this will allow you to change the font colors as well. Since I changed the shadow color to a gray, I'm going to just actually change it to white just so we can, yeah. That font color is really light. So I'm going to darken it up. I think we are good. Placeholder text, we're going to also darken that up too so it can be visible to there. And some here. So you can change it, but we want it to be on the darker side so that somebody can see it if they are accessible. All right, and then now you've changed the color. This background too, we want to change this background color too. Let's just make that white. Text, that's the field color. And I want to make sure that that background color is, so you can also, here, just clicking around in options to just make sure that our options are set. All right, so now, oh, here's the color right there for that background. We're going to make that white so that it matches everything. So now we've changed the colors so that it matches our color scheme. And now we've got our fields that we want. So the very last thing that you want to do is you want to actually change, maybe you want the button name to change. Change the name to submit your interests. Now you can have subtext. Okay. That could be the subtext of the button. Here you can change the button color to, let's say we want that to be here. And you notice too that this is not actually dark, and that's the transparency of the button. So I want that to be a little bit darker, or I can have it lighter. So you can change that too. You can also make the like you can make this bold. So I'm just going to highlight that, make that bold. And then there we go. And so you can also change the roundness. That's the corner. It's called corner radius. So you can make that and say you want that to be actually like a bubble. So you can change that to 40. You can make the border type solid, and then change the color of the border so that that's what you can do on the button. Now that you've formatted it and you've got it to look like you want, just again, make sure that your text color is not light. We want to make sure that all of our text is legible for any type of reader of our system. So for this particular situation, I would want the text of this to be a little bit darker here. So I'm going to change that text to black as well. There we go. And then I'm going to make that link blue so it stands out. Then I always like to save periodically just to make sure that I've got the that I'm not losing anything. So then the very last thing that you've got this looking the way that you want is on the options. You want to select this little option, the lollipops on the side. And then here, this is going to take you to the options tab. The thing that you want to make sure is that you've defined a message that will pop up to your client once they submit. So this has got a generic message, but I usually like to have a little bit more formal message. Thank you for your account newsletter. And so you can also change the background of this, of what's going to show up in the message, but pretty much that's all that you need to do. And then you click save, and then when you click on integrate, you can take the code and import that into your website so that this form is available on your website, or you can take the link and you can put it behind a button on your website, or you can send out the form here. And so we're just going to open the link so we can see what it actually looks like. So this is what the form is going to look like. Looks pretty good, no problems here. And then I always like to test my form too, just to make sure that it's going to submit. So I'm just going to go in, click on put my name, and then email address, sure that that message is coming up. It's not going to, because there we go. And then click submit, and you notice that we get a message on the bottom, and this is the header. So this is going to stay on every page. So this is working the way that I intended it to. And so now you've created your interest form, and now you just need to publish it. But you have these options that let the way that the form is going to actually show up. And so you can have a sidebar. This is if you're going to embed it on your website. I like that just lets it slide in. These are just into different actions that when you embed the form into your website, how it's going to behave. I just usually keep the popular format. So I'm going to click done here. And then the last thing I want to show you that you can do is you can turn on notifications. You can receive a notification when the form gets done, and you can just put whatever subject you want to have come to you, destination, interest, And here you can click save. Here, this is who it's going to go to. So if you want it to go to yourself, you can. You can also use a custom value for your business if you want to. The reply sender name, you can leave that. And then if you select this autoresponder, what this is going to do is send your client an email with the form information that they've submitted. You can leave this turned on or turned off. It's really up to you how you want this to behave. Click save, and then your notifications are going to be set. Just make sure you save it in the top. And now you've got yourself an interest form that's created that you can use in automations. You can put on your website. You can give someone the direct link to it in emails. You can use it at your heart's intent. Now, the thing that you're going to want to remember is that you're going to want to create an interest form for each destination that you do. You're not going to want to use the same interest form because there may be different actions, automations, and tasks that you want to kick off based on someone's submission. So here in this example, I said a newsletter. So we can create an automation, which is something that we'll show you in a different training, how to, once someone submit, is create an automation. So if you already have a newsletter, let's say you have frequently asked questions, you have a guide for Bali. Once somebody submits that form, you can automatically send them an email with that information in it. So if you're not a TravelPro Suite member, simply go to onlinetravelboss.com/TPS. And if you are already a member and you'd like to join our affiliate program, you'll be able to resell TravelPro Suite and make 30% monthly recurring income. I look forward to working with you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. The time is now for you to simplify how you operate your travel business. Bye for now. If you have any questions and you'd like to join us for open office hours, we're starting right now. Go to sundaygardner.com.